All right, 10.3, let's talk about trapezoids first. So we're looking at properties of trapezoids and kites. So a trapezoid can look like this. You have these two parallel sides, and you also can have a, well, yeah, that's really the main thing. They can look kind of funky, so they can also look something like this. This is still fine for them to be like this. So in this one, this is an isosceles trapezoid because these sides are the same. Let me write that down. Isosceles trapezoid. And then this one is your just run-of-the-mill regular trapezoid. There's three things we're going to be looking at with these trapezoids. One is the mid-segment theorem. Then we're also going to be looking at angles. We're also going to be looking at diagonals. So in summary, here's how these work. Whenever you have this mid-segment here, so here's the mid-segment. Pretend that's in the middle. I'm just doing my best. So you have a formula here. It's going to be 2 times the mid-segment. The mid-segment equals the top line plus the bottom line. That's the mid-segment formula. Other properties you have here, with this particular one, the isosceles trapezoid, whatever this angle is the same thing. Whatever this angle is the same thing. That's what these symbols mean. If you don't know that, you probably need to write it down because I'm going to keep using that. So those are the same. And then because it's a quadrilateral, these add up to 180. Okay. And so some other things you need to look at. Oh man, it's on this one. Okay. So what other colors can I use? I'm just going to draw a new trapezoid. Something else that's important when you have these isosceles trapezoids is when you have diagonals, these diagonals are congruent. I'm just going to write that. Diagonals congruent. That pretty much covers it. Let me look at your assignment, make sure I have all the details you need. Yeah, so on this one, these add up to 180. I think that covers what you need to know. Yeah, because these lines are parallel, so that's important. If you remember this from what we did last semester, this is consecutive interior angles or same side interior angles. Okay, the other thing we're looking at is kites. So take a look at this. You have this shape here is a kite. All right, so here's your kite. There's some properties here you need to know. I'm actually going to do 2 kites. That way not all the information is jumbled up. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Do this. Okay, so when you have these diagonals, here you have a 90-degree angle. This length is congruent to this length, and then this length is congruent to this length. Also on the inside, this length is congruent to this length. So you do have 4 right triangles on the inside here. So there's a lot you can do with that. So even with the angles, there's a lot there as well. So this angle is congruent to this angle. This angle is congruent to this angle. And this line, it's bisecting those angles on the left and the right. So you need to know what all these symbols mean. When you have one like this, it's important to know, well, yeah, the sides still match up because it's a kite. So the sides are still like this. And then the thing you need to know on the inside is that this angle is congruent to this angle. So for instance, if this is like 100 degrees, this one would also be 100 degrees. Then just whatever it is. So this is 12, this is 12, and this is 24, this is also 24. And once you have those numbers, you can figure out everything else. Let me look at your assignment, see what it's asking for with the kites. Yeah, so I believe that covers everything you need. Okay, if you don't know what these symbols mean, you're in trouble. You need to write that down if you don't know that. It's really about